Hi, this is me. In this video, I'm going to share a mixing session of a song called Heterogene by Coltraine. This is how it sounds without any plugins.
She was only 13 on that sad day when they took our angel away. How or why it happened remains a mystery.
And this is how it sounds after mixing it.
She was only 13 on that sad day when they took our angel away. How or why it happened remains a mystery. I remember like it was yesterday, but it was back in '03. And your memory brings a happy tear. Oh, little sister, I wish you were here.
Okay, so now let's talk about how I mixed it. Okay, so this is how the kick sound without any mixing. This is the EQ without it, with it, and this compressor without both of them, with them. Okay, so now let's move on to the snare up. Okay, so this is how the snare up sounds without any mixing. This is the EQ, compressor, and another compressor. Without both of them, with them. Now let's get it back to the previous volume level, and now this is how the snare down sounds without any plugins. With this EQ, without it, with it, and this compressor. Both of these together. Get back to this volume level. Let's move on to the hats sound. Hi-hat sounds without any EQ. This is the EQ. Now let's move on to the toms. Okay, so in the toms we have got the single track tom, and in which both of the toms are recorded, both left and right. So what I have done is I have used the stereo signal, not the mono. Stereo one sounds like this, and mono I have used the stereo one, and only plugin is EQ. This is setting for EQ, and I have not panned it because it's in the right and left. It's in the stereo. Let's move on to the overheads. Okay, so this is the sound of snare, overheads recording without any plugin. It has a lot of bleed of snare and kick. That's why I have made these cuts. After this EQ, I have got only this overheads, not snare and other. Only this is the plugin that I have used, and I think this is also in the center, not even in mono or stereo. Pan to the right. Let's move on to the other drum room sound. Okay, so now I've got this drum room sound. This is how it sounds without any plugins. Let me increase the volume. And this is the EQ without it, with it, and I have used this limiter as compressor. Without both of them, with it, and the amount of volume that I have used is this much in the overall drums. Let me show you how the drum bus sounds. Okay, so this is how my drum bus sounds without any plugin. The first is this saturation. Without it, with it, and then comes this pre-box, which is another saturator. Without it, with it, without it, with it. How the bass is punching the kick. Without it, with it, and then this compressor. Without them, with all three of them together, and I have also used this hard compression. This is the sound of hard compressed sound just under the drum bus. Without the hard compression, with it. This is too much. This is the amount I've used. So this is how I process these drums and the drum bus. Let's move on to the bass, how I treated the bass. In the bass, I have not even used a compressor, maybe because the bass is very consistent and it does not require any change in sound, not even the dynamics to be controlled. So this is how the bass sounds without this EQ. This is the EQ without EQ, with EQ, and I haven't used any saturation, not even compressor. Everything together. And one more thing, this room sound I have used without this room drum sound. With, see the difference, can you hear it? Without it. Now with it. This is too much. This is nothing. There is no room drums now. Without it, with it, there's a lot of difference. The atmosphere that it adds is something which is it should be there to make drum sounds huge. Without it, with it. Listen carefully. Without it, with it. So that is how I process these drums with the bass. Okay, let's move on to these other instrument section. Okay, so I've got this guitar pan to the little left. This is how it sounds without EQ and any other thing. Without EQ. With EQ. And saturation. Without saturation. With it. And this compressor. Let's move on to the guitar on the right. Okay, so this is how this guitar on the right sounds without any plugins. This is the EQ, and this saturation, this compressor, and now this reverb. Now combining both of these guitars together. Okay, so this guitar is panned to little left. This is how it sounds without any EQ, without any plugin. This is the EQ without it, with it, saturation, and this compressor, and this reverb. Without all of them, together. Let's move on to the other guitar, which is on the right. Okay, so this is how this guitar sounds, which is on the right without any EQs. With the EQ, saturation, compressor, and this reverb. Without them, with them. Let's play both of these guitars together. Let's move on to the other guitars. Now we have got one more guitar, pan extreme to the right, sorry, to the left. This is how it sounds without any EQ. This is the EQ, removing all this unnecessary sound with the EQ. And this is the saturation without it, with it, the compressor, and this reverb. Let's move on to the other guitar, which is on the extreme right, just opposite to it. This is how it sounds without any EQ. EQ on, EQ off. Again EQ on. Saturation, compression, and the reverb on. Now both of these guitars together. Okay, so these are all my guitars. Now moving on to the lead vocals. This is how my lead vocals sound without any plugins.
She was only 13 on that sad day
This is the EQ.
when fate took our angel away.
Another
How or
EQ
why it happened remains a mystery.
without both of them.
I remember like it was yesterday,
Both of them on.
but it was back
And I've
in
got
03.
this Maximus
And your memory
to shape the transient
brings a
and
happy
some volume.
tear. Oh, little sister, I
The
wish
mid-frequencies.
you were here. We still celebrate your birthday
little bit of
every fall. So if you hear this, please give us a
And this saturation.
call. She was only 13 on that sad day when fate took our angel away. How or why it happened remains a mystery.
Without the saturation.
I remember like it was yesterday, but it was
And
back
then
in
this
03.
compressor,
And your memory brings a
which is giving me a lot
happy
of volume, so I
tear.
get it
Oh,
down.
little sister, I wish you were
After this compressor,
here. We still celebrate your birthday every
Without it.
fall.
let me increase the volume.
So if you hear this, please give us a call. She was only 13 on that sad day
With it,
when fate took our
it.
angel away. How or why it happened remains a mystery.
and now moving on to this vocal patcher, where I have got these my reverbs, room reverb, hall reverb, and this is how I add reverb to my vocal.
She was only 13
First is room reverb,
on that sad day when fate took our angel away.
Without it. With
How
it,
or why it happened remains a mystery.
and then this room hall reverb.
I remember like it was yesterday, but it was back in 03.
This is how my only reverb sounds. Now only room reverb, which is EQ'd like this, and this is how my hall reverb sounds. This is the EQ.
So if you hear this, please give us a call.
And this wider plugin, I think it's too much. I should have selected this much, but anyway, let's keep it there. And then this slapback delay
took our angel away.
without all of them,
How or why it happened
with them,
remains a mystery.
everything
I
together.
remember like it was yesterday, but it was back in 03. And your memory brings a happy tear. Oh, little sister, I wish you were here.
Okay, so in the masters, I have got this. First, I have got this pre-box, which is a saturator. Let me show you one by one how everyone is changing the sound. First, this is how it sounds without any mastering.
She was only 13.
First, this pre-box.
That day when fate took our angel away.
This is how my song sounds in mono.
Remains a mystery.
This is the mono sound.
I remember like it was yesterday. It was back
Mono.
in 03. And your
Adding some stereo.
brings a happy tear.
Only stereo sound combining with the mono.
I wish you were here.
Just mono.
We still celebrate your birthday every fall. So if you hear this, please get.
And then I've got this Maximus, which is giving me volume.
She was only 13 on that sad day when fate took our angel away.
This is my settings for the lows,
Remains
For
a
the mids.
mystery.
highs,
I
and
remember
this master.
like it was yesterday, but it was back in 03.
This is my band for the lows, mids and highs.
She was only 13
And this final
on that
EQ,
sad day when fate took our angel away.
I have two boosted these kick frequencies. That's why kick is so punchy. And in the end I have used this soft clipper, which is giving me the extreme punch.
She was only 13 on that Saturday. Back in '03, and your memory brings a happy tear.
Okay, so this is how I mix this song. I hope you like it, and subscribe to the channel and watch other mixing sessions. These are my mixing, not secrets, but yeah, this is the way I mix. Thanks CambridgeMT.com and Chris Coltraine for this wonderful song. This is me signing off. Keep learning, enjoy practicing. Let's listen to this beautiful song just one more time.
Back in '03, and your memory brings a happy tear. Oh, little sister, I wish you were here. We still celebrate your birthday every fall. So if you hear this,
thanks for watching.